Hey everybody, it's Jason with the Boardgame Mechanics, and today we're going to take a look at a game called Bang the Bullet. Bang the Bullet is effectively just the game Bang, but with a couple expansions built in, and it comes in this cool bullet case, which you may hate, but I like it. And what the game Bang is it's a hidden role card game set in the Wild West. Now what that means is there's going to be different roles. There's a sheriff, a deputy, maybe multiple deputies, outlaws, one or more, and a renegade. There may be more of those. Only the sheriff is known, and they're going to be known by a card in front of them, but they're also going to have this cool badge. Sheriff. And the deputies are trying to kill the outlaws and the renegade. The sheriff's trying to kill the outlaws and the renegade, and they win. The outlaws are trying to kill the sheriff. They win. The renegade is trying to kill the sheriff, but only if the sheriff and the renegade are the last two alive. The renegade needs to be the last one alive, killing the sheriff last, and then they win. And you're going to do that through some card play. And that's it. Everyone's going to have a character with some special abilities, and you're going to be playing cards to try to take out everybody else. That's the gist of the game. Now let's go down to the table. Check it out.
Come on, play the game.
All right, so here's a game of Bang the Bullet, which includes High Noon, Fistful of Cards, and Dodge City expansions, but I'm going to be using Fistful of Cards, no High Noon, and then all the other ones. All set up for 4 players. And then to continue setup, what you're going to do is you're going to give each player, based on the number of players, a role. In a 4-player game, there's a sheriff, there's an 2 outlaws, and a renegade. Sheriff flips theirs face up, gets this cool sheriff badge as well. Everybody else keeps theirs face down. Then each player will be dealt a character or 2 characters, and then pick one, whatever you want to do. It says 1, but I like to do 2. You'll get starting number of bullets. In this case, it would be 4, but sheriff starts with an extra 1. Everybody else does that, and your character has a special ability. The sheriff will also take the deck of either Fistful of Cards or High Noon, if you're going to play with that, and put the Fistful of Cards card on the bottom, shuffle the rest, and then flip them face up. And then each player will get cards from the draw deck based on the amount of bullets that they have. So this player has 5 bullets, they get 5 cards, so on and so forth. Now we're ready to play this game. What we're trying to do here is, the sheriff is trying to, it says on the card, eliminate outlaws and renegade. If they can do that, the sheriff and the deputies win. There's no deputy in this, but if there is a deputy, they would win. The outlaws trying to kill the sheriff. They do that, they win. The renegade has to kill the sheriff, but they have to be the last one alive. So it needs to be the sheriff versus the renegade, and then the renegade kills the sheriff, they win the game. So it's a little bit trickier, but it is possible. So let's talk about how the game works. So on your turn, we're going to start with the sheriff. You're going to draw 2 cards. So you take 2 cards from the deck, and then you're going to play as many cards as you want and take any kinds of actions that you want. And then at the end of your turn, you have to discard down to at least your bullet count. So let's talk about what some of these cards do. There are green cards, which I'm going to go ahead and load up. Green cards will be placed down face up in front of you, and they're going to be able to be used on a future turn. So you're basically loading them, preparing them. They're going to kind of extend your hand size. So I'm going to do that. So this is a sombrero. If somebody shoots at me, I can discard this, and it's basically a miss. Blue cards also are played face up in front of you, and I'm going to go ahead and do that as well. And they are going to be cards that either have a passive ability, which means you can be farther away, you can see people closer, or when somebody shoots at you, I can flip a card, and if it's a heart, they miss. All right? And then that's a blank card, so let's get rid of that. The brown cards, you're going to play the card and you're going to discard it. And I'm going to go ahead and do that. So I'm going to play this card, discard it. I get to draw 3 cards. 1, 2, 3. All right, and I'm going to put this player in jail. I don't know who anybody is yet, so I'm going to throw prison on them. On their turn, they have to flip a card. If it's a heart, they get out of jail. Otherwise, they pass their turn, and then they're out of jail. I'm also going to play a Mustang on myself. This card right here, everybody will have one of these. It basically tells you what the icons on the card are if they don't have text. So I'll just keep this over here by me so I can see it. So now I have a Mustang. I'm farther away for everyone to see, and that'll make sense when we start shooting at people. And then I'm going to play a panic card. So I get to hold up somebody who's one away from me, which I think is all these. Yes, so I'm going to hold up this player. I'm just going to start picking on them because they're in jail. That means I get to take one of their cards randomly. I'll take this one and put it in my hand. I stole a dynamite, and I'll go ahead and play the dynamite because it's a good time. Dynamite can make you lose hearts based on a card that's flipped. And that's all I'm going to do right now because I can't shoot because I don't have a gun. I have 4 cards in my hand, so I'm done. Then we'll go to this player. These cards come into effect on this player's second turn, so we'll get to that. Then we'll go to this player. First thing they have to do is flip a card from the deck. If it's a heart, they're out of jail. If not, they pass their turn. It's a diamond, so they don't get to do anything, but jail goes away, and now on their next turn, they'll be able to play like normal. Then to this player, they're going to draw 2. And their special ability is she may use any card as a miss card, which is pretty cool, which is why they start with less bullets. They have all these cards, a couple bang. Ooh, they have a gun, so they're going to go ahead and play a Remington. They can now shoot, and I need to see what they are. And they are going to start shooting. They're going to shoot at this character. So they're going to play a bang. Each gun can only shoot 1 time unless you have a volcanic. That's a different gun. So this gun is going to shoot this character 1 time. And then let's see if they have any miss cards. They do not have any miss cards, so they lose a bullet. And this card goes into this card. This person can keep playing. That's all they can do. They have 3 bullets, 3 cards. They are done. Then on to this player. What's their special ability? They're going to play bang cards as miss cards as bang. That's cool. All right. So they're going to play a barrel down. So they can hide behind a barrel to help them get misses. And then they are going to play a panic on that player. I'm too far away. It has to be 1 away. I'm 2 away. So they're going to play a panic on that player. Steal a card. Let's take this one. Got a bang. They have no gun. So they're going to play the duel. Now the way the duel works is they're going to duel this player. And they actually, let me see what their role is. Yeah. They're going to duel this player. And the way this works is, this is going to be a bang. This player has to play a bang card. The last player to play a bang card, the other player loses a bullet. So they play a bang. This player has a bang, so they'll play a bang. This player has a bang. This player has no more bang. So they lose another bullet. They're really trying to take this character down. All right, so that's that. And the other card they have is something they can't play right now, so they're done. Back to me. Now, first thing I do is I remove this card. And we're going to start hitting this. So instead of drawing in phase 1, each player guesses the suit of the top card of the deck is, if it's red or black, I can't read it, so small. He then draws and shows it. If he guessed right, keeps it and may draw again. Otherwise, he proceeds to phase 2. So in order to draw cards, you got to guess the suit. So I'm going to say black. I did not get it right. So I'm done. I don't get to draw any new cards. Okay. So let's go ahead, and I don't have anything to do. So I'm going to go ahead and hold this person up. They're 1 away from me. I'll steal a card. I got a beer. You can't do anything with beer. You can never have more bullets than that. Beer gives you health. Done. Then it's this player's turn. They're going to say red. It's not red, so they don't get to draw any cards. But they'll play their gun, and that is good for them. So they are done. That player's going to say black. It's not black, so they don't get to draw any cards. But they have a bang, and they're going to shoot the sheriff. First thing I'm going to do is I can flip my barrel. Oh, I should have done this first. Okay, pretend like I didn't play that yet. We'll play that next turn, just so we can see. So I'm going to shoot the sheriff. I'm going to flip my barrel. If I flip a heart, it's a miss. It is a heart, so that bang is not successful. Then their next card is nothing they can play. All right. This player going to say black. It is black, so they'll say black again. It's not black, so they get at least play this card. And they're going to play, they don't have a gun, so they can't do anything. So they're done. Back to me. All right, this is gone. That's terrible. When Russian roulette enters play, starting from the sheriff, each player discards a miss until one player does not. He loses 2 life points and the roulette stops. Ooh. All right, starting with sheriff. So I will discard a miss. This player doesn't have any cards, so they lose 2 life points. They are dead. And their roll will get flipped. They are an outlaw. But this stops because they're dead. Now, when anybody kills an outlaw, you get to draw 3 cards. If the sheriff kills a deputy, bad things happen, but that doesn't matter here. So let's see. I got 3 bangs. I don't have a gun, though, so I still can't shoot, but I will play the dynamite. And I have a whole pile of cards that I can't play. So let's get rid of a barrel because I can't play it. And a beer. 5 cards, done. All right, so this player is out of the game. So they would just be done. And it shifts everybody closer. And that's how the game's going to keep going. You're going to keep playing like that until one person has met their win condition. So in this case, the sheriff is closer to meeting their win condition. And that's it. Go through these cards. As it gets to the bottom, the last card is going to be pretty crazy. And Dynamite, had I adhered to this, if it's in front of you, you're going to flip a card. If it's a 2 through 9 of spades, like that, it blows up. You lose 3 bullets, and then it's out of the game. If not, it passes around the table. So it's just going to keep being a nuisance until it blows up, which is pretty cool. So that is how you play Bang the Bullet with some of the expansions. Let's go to the top, see what you think about it.
What do you think, son? What do you think?
All right, well, that was Bang the Bullet. Let's talk about some of the components. Rulebook, got a little chewed up. The rulebook is good, tells you how to play, tells you what the cards do. Not all the cards, so I would like to have a complete card clarification. That's not in here. But it tells you how to set up with the expansions and all that kind of thing. It does have enough information in here that you need, so it's a pretty solid rulebook. The storage is pretty good. I like how it stores in here. I actually take all the actual playing cards and put them in this way because it keeps them from falling out and getting messy. But there's enough slots in there for everything to sit in there, and the badge. Let's talk about some of the cards. The cards are really nice quality. I've shuffled them a lot. They're still holding up. They're really flexible. The art, I like the art. It just looks like pencil drawings. I really like it. Again, art is subjective, so not everybody's going to feel the same way as me, and I get that, but I do enjoy it. And I also like, they're making this feel like a spaghetti western theme. I don't know if you know what that is, but a lot of early Clint Eastwood movies were set in Italy because they were cheaper. I forget the director, but he was Italian. And they would be, all the other characters in the movies would be speaking Italian, but they'd be overdubbed, except for Clint Eastwood. He'd be speaking English. So this has that kind of feel. It has the text in Italian and English, which I think is fantastic. It gives you that like old school spaghetti western theme that is silly and fun, and I enjoy it. So components are great, rulebook's great. I have no issue with that. Let's talk about the gameplay. This is a game that we played a ton when we first got it. We played it with everybody. We had this version, we had the regular version, not in the bullet with no expansions. We played it all the time. We'd take it to church camp, we'd be shooting people and giving them beers, taking them to the saloon, like you do at church camp. And we just play this all the time. But eventually, Bang the Dice game came along. We started playing that one. And it's faster, it plays more people, and it's easier to teach. So this one kind of didn't get off the shelf. But we just played this one not that long ago, and I forgot how much I love this game. It's so good. It's pretty mean. There can be turns where you don't do anything on your turn, but the Wild West was mean. Nobody was accusing it of being for Care Bears. So the theme works. The cards are really easy to play. Most of them are just icons, which is cool. There's a whole breakdown of a card. Let me see if I can find it. That tells you what all the icons do, which is pretty neat too. There's a pile of characters, so you're never going to get the same character twice. Like, look at all these. These are all the character cards. All these. Look at that. So much stuff going on to make this game feel different every single time. Yes, you're playing with these same cards every time, but there's some expansions to jazz it up. Those events like I showed you in the overview. And it's fantastic. There's even more expansions that you could buy if you want it. But just having the base, this bullet, you're going to have hours of enjoyment, and you're going to love it. So I'm going to give this a BGM Accepted Seal. This is actually going to get an 8.5 out of 10 on BGG, which is a 4.25 out of 5 wrenches on our arbitrary wrench scale. It means absolutely nothing, but we like to give it the games that we enjoy, and that's what I'm going to do. So that is Bang the Bullet from DB Games. I'm Jason with the Boardgame Mechanics, and as always, keep gaming.